Jan.
In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., I quote, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." I would like to extend a very warm welcome to the valedictory ceremony of the 6th Amity International Conference on Next Generation Jurisprudence, AI, Governance, and the Legal Landscape. My name is Arsh Dubey.
And I am Dimple.
And over the past days, we all have explored the incredible intersection of artificial intelligence, governance, and law. And it's been nothing short of groundbreaking.
Absolutely, Ursh. The insights, discussions, and debates we've experienced have redefined our understanding of AI and its evolving legal implications. Today, we gather to celebrate these achievements and acknowledge everyone who contributed to making this conference a grand success.
We feel extremely honored by the presence of our dignitaries. Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. Amarpal Singh Sir, Vice Chancellor, Ram Manohar Lohia, National Law University, Lucknow. Our guest of honor, Professor Dr. Yogesh Pratap Singh Sir, Vice Chancellor, National Law University, Tripura. Our special invitees, Dr. Patrick Terry, Dean Faculty of Law, University of Public Administration, Germany. Dr. Cássio Eduardo Zen, Professor at Universidade de João Paulo, Brazil. Professor Dr. P.B. Sharma, Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Haryana. Dr. Ravi Manuja, Registrar, Amity University, Haryana. Professor Dr. Jay Prakash Yadav, Director, Amity Law School, Amity University, Haryana. And Professor Dr. Ajay Kumar Bhatt, sir. I'd now request our venerated guests to please come up on the stage. Shubham Karoti Kalyanam, Arogyam Dhanasampada, Shatru Buddhi Vinashaya, Deepajyoti Namostute. To start our ceremony on a spiritual note, we will now proceed with the lighting of the lamp and Saraswati Vandana. This tradition symbolizes the triumph of knowledge over ignorance.
May I invite our esteemed dignitaries to the stage for lighting of the lamp.
आइकन दबाइए।
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्र या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमाम् आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदा जाड्यान्धकारापहा हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्
We thank the Almighty for blessing us with the light of wisdom.
Before we move forward, let's take a moment to introduce Amity Law School at Amity University, Haryana, the backbone of this conference. Amity Law School has been committed to nurturing leaders in law and fostering an environment where innovation and legal ethics flourish.
Universities and colleges are expected not only to create knowledge, improve equity, and to respond to student needs, but to do so more efficiently and effectively. Amity University, Haryana is committed to further the cause of higher education in India. And hence, we at Amity are passionate about grooming our students who are not only thorough professionals, but also good human beings with values and sanskars. At Amity, emphasis is given on not only making the students academically brilliant, but true leaders and team players, thus preparing you for an everlasting journey of wisdom and knowledge. The vision and mission of Amity Law School Gurugram is to strive to be an internationally recognized leader in socially relevant legal research and education in India in alignment with the vision of Amity University, Haryana, which strongly believes in relentless pursuit of innovation and excellence at all levels of activities, serving to the society with atmiyata and devotion. The brilliant young minds at the law school are nurtured under the tutelage of a world-class faculty that inculcates innovative thought and has been able to initiate an interdisciplinary approach to all topics of study. To keep students abreast of latest law developments, the curriculum is updated by industry advisory boards comprising of top law professionals, eminent judges, and jurists with emphasis on practical training. Students are encouraged to visit different layers of existing judicial dispensation to acquire a first-hand introduction to legal issues, actual court craft, and the range of legal remedies available first-hand introduction. Legal aid clinics and moot court competitions are held to prepare the students to diagnose legal issues and suitable legal remedies. I take immense pride in sharing that Amity Law School has been ranked 33rd in NIRF rankings 2024 and 30th in MDRA India Today ranking amongst the top law schools in India.
In the current era of advanced technology, the convergence of artificial intelligence and big data presents intricate challenges in the technical and doctrinal aspects of law and the fundamental principles of jurisprudence. Addressing this challenge entails three potential approaches: reevaluating the independent status of specific foundational categories, reconfiguring the interpretation of such categories, or steadfastly defending and enhancing our understanding of specific classifications. The reconstruction of the essential concept of law remains uncertain and necessitates further deliberation. Although the new technological era has not introduced entirely novel jurisprudential dilemmas, it has reconsidered existing perspectives. Swiftly and effectively responding to these challenges becomes paramounting in seizing fresh opportunities for the independent advancement of jurisprudence. The international conference aims to provide an interdisciplinary forum for world class academicians, policymakers, professionals, research scholars, students, and people from many different fields and interests to discuss and exchange ideas about jurisprudence, AI, and governance in a broad way from both domestic and international perspectives. The conference will provide an opportunity to discuss current and future ideas and directions, research and international developments in the concerned areas, facilitating cooperation between various professionals from different countries as well as cross-fertilizing diverse areas of interest. To officially welcome you all, may I now invite Professor Dr. Jai Prakash Yadav Sir, Director of Amity Law School, Amity University, Haryana, to deliver the welcome address.
Good afternoon to one and all present over here. On behalf of Amity Law School, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Amity University, Haryana, I would like to almost honor and privilege to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to all of you gathered here today for our valedictory session of the 6th Amity International Conference on Next Generation Jurisprudence, AI Governance, and the Evolving Legal Landscape. I'm very sorry because I have been working in Amity Law School for 6 years, so I just, and at the outset, I would like to welcome a special welcome to our chief guest for today's occasions, the Vice Chancellor of RMNLU Lucknow, Honorable Professor Amarpal Singh Ji. Your presence here today not only elevate an enthusiasm of this gathering, but also the bring immense grace and prestige of this event. We are deeply honored to have you with us, sir. A hearty welcome to you, sir. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to another esteemed legal luminaries, the Vice Chancellor of National Law University, Tripura, Honorable Professor Yogesh Pratap Singh, sir, who join us virtually today. It is truly a privilege to have you participate in this conference, even from a distance. A hearty welcome to you, sir. A warm welcome as well to our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Manesar, Gurugram, Haryana, Professors P.B. Sarma, sir, Bhishma Pitama of academia, and having a vast academic knowledge and the leadership continue to inspire us, all of us. Words fall short in expressing our gratitude for your invaluable guidance and unwavering support and outstanding persona. Hearty welcome to you, sir. I also extend to a heart welcome to our Pro-Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Manesar, Gurugram, Haryana, Professor Vikas Madhukar, sir. Your leadership in academia is highly respected, sir. It is always be a pleasure to have you with us on such a significant events. I welcome on behalf of this Amity Law School, Manesar in absentia. I extend my heartfelt welcome to our Honorable Registrar of Amity University, Gurgaon, Haryana, Professor Ravi Manoja, sir. Thank you for your continuous support and dedication, sir. A hearty welcome to you, sir. A special note of appreciation to the esteemed head of department, head of institutes, faculty members, and all other dignitaries from the Amity University, Manesar, Gurugram, Haryana. Your dedication to the university mission and your tireless efforts contribute have been vital to success of the conference as well as in the success of the Amity University, Mane sir. I also a special appreciation and thanks to the chair of this conference, Professor Ajay Bhatt sir, conveners, Dr. Indra Kumar sir, Nidhi Sharma ma'am, Neha Mishra ma'am, and all other Amity University support who tirelessly do the hard work to make this event successful. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for setting the stage. Next, we have the valedictory report by Professor Dr. Somdat Bharadwaj, sir. This report will highlight the milestones we reached and the valuable insights we gained over the course of the conference. Over to you, sir.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, HOD, and the colleagues and my dear students. What we saw yesterday and today is basically a big game being played into the academia. Each and all of us part of it. And I can say with the blessing of the Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, and other one, it has gone beyond our expectations. And as per the requirement of academia, here I am to present the valedictory report. And with your permission, sir. Thank you. The 6th Amity International Conference on Next-Gen Jurisprudence began its inaugural session with the traditional light lampic ceremony dedicated to Goddess Saraswati, symbolizing a reverent atmosphere that celebrates wisdom and knowledge. This ritual set a setting tone for discussing ahead, marking the conference as a space of intellectual engagement and cultural respect. Professor Dr. J.P. Yadav, Director, Amity Law School, officially inaugurated the event, offering a warm welcome to the distinguished guests, speakers, and attendees. In his opening remarks, Dr. Yadav provided a well-rounded perspective on the conference theme, emphasizing the transformative potential of artificial intelligence, while also acknowledging its complex ethical and legal implications. His words framed AI as the vital force in modern society, one that requires careful examination and nuanced understanding that legal framework require. Following Dr. Yadav's address, Dr. Vikas Madhukar, the Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, presented an insightful speech referring to AI as the universe, a phrase highlighting AI's sweeping impact across various sectors. Dr. Madhukar challenged prevailing concerns about AI-induced unemployment, pointing out that AI is projected to create around 97 million new jobs in the next coming decade. He envisages AI as a powerful tool for public welfare, advocating its use in ways that support societal advancement over individual profits. The session's keynote address was delivered by the chief guest, Professor Dr. Ranbir Singh, a friend of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir. Professor Singh stressed the crucial importance of understanding the intersection between technology and law, encouraging students to develop expertise in this area to stay competitive in future legal careers. He also expressed concerns about the backlog of cases in judicial system worldwide and posed that AI could alleviate the issue by supporting predictive justice. Professor Singh's address underscored the need for the legal profession to adapt to technological advancements, particularly AI, which it describes as a catalyst for societal progress and an enabler for more equitable nation. In the virtual address, Dr. Manoj Kumar Sinha commended Amity Law School for organizing such a platform for academic exchange. He stressed the importance of collaborative engagement among educational institutions to prepare the next generation of legal scholars for the challenges posed by the contemporary technological advancement. Dr. Wafa Said contributed an international perspective by analyzing Egypt's legal framework in relation to AI. Her presentation examined issues like algorithmic collision within competition law, as well as the complexities surrounding intellectual property in the context of AI. During the session, the dignitaries unveiled the 6th Amity International Conference booklet, a resource detailing the event's agenda, speakers, and topics. Dr. Ajay Kumar Bhatt concluded the session with a closing statement expressing gratitude to the audience's active participation and emphasizing the conference aim to foster progressive dialogue on AI governance and jurisprudence. In total, 6 technical sessions were conducted all through the conference, which show the participation of 145 scholars, and in total 65 papers was presented. 12 experts were called for the chairs, and at the end of this, we have shortlisted the 3 best papers and 3 best presentations. The technical session number 1 was about AI governance framework, unveiling the tapestry of oversight. And this particular session specifically dealt with absence of comprehensive legal framework specific to AIs. Presenters advocated for the establishment of AI-specific regulatory bodies to set standards for AI development, deployment, and accountability. Data protection also emerged as an important key concern. Participants highlighted the importance of the stronger legislation and mechanism to enhance transparency in AI system, protecting personal data from misuse. Discussions also highlighted the potential impact of AI on human rights, particularly in surveillance, where unchecked AI use could infringe on privacy and civil liberties of common citizens like you and me. Presenters recommended that human rights framework be incorporated into AI governance models with impact assessment conducted before AI systems are deployed. In the mental health sector, the discourse revolved around recognizing AI in the field of diagnosis and supportive potential. However, question was advised against over-reliance on technology with solutions like AI-human collaborations. Modules suggested to keep human expertise at the forefront. The topics of the transgender right was so raised with calls for inclusive AI design that consider the needs of the marginalized communities. Technical session 2, the legal policy and deepfakes, navigating the digital jurisprudence. The session featured insight presentation, each addressing various dimensions of the legal challenges posed by AI and deepfake technologies. The session explored the global legal landscape of AI, focusing on Europe's role in setting international standards, especially in combating deepfake misuse in areas such as pornography. The session stressed the need for the robust legal framework and international cooperation to balance innovation with ethical safeguards. Technical session 3, AI in legal practice and education, shaping the future of jurisprudence. The session explored access to justice through AI, bridging the divide. This is what our NEP 2020 speaks about. It explored AI tools such as natural language processing and e-initiative like SUAS and SUPACE, which are enhancing judicial administration. Session also highlighted challenges like information security and resource requirement, ending with a discussion on blockchain potential in the field of legal studies. Technical session 4, access to justice through AI, bridging the divide. This session specifically dealt with police reforms pertaining to investigation in the AI-driven area, discussing India's progress in AI adoption for police reforms and emphasizing privacy and human rights concerns. While optimizing about AI's potential in India, the session stressed that AI should remain a tool serving humanity, not overtaking the humanity. The technical session 5 of the international conference themed on digital sovereignty and ethical challenges, charting a course for a responsible future. The key areas which were discussed in technical session number 5 were issues of market concentration and monopoly in AI-driven platforms, noting barrier to career and impact on consumer protection and fair competition. The session emphasized that while AI can stimulate growth and innovation, its dominance in digital markets bring about challenges, particularly regarding privacy, competition, and unemployment. Technical session 6 was themed on competition law and other related laws and AI challenges. The main takeaway and point of discussion was that we all have been speaking about artificial intelligence, but people actually forget that it is all about big data. We, the people of India, are the generator of that big data, and the main point of discussion through this was that we must be very careful with the policies of what data we share through the mobiles, laptop, internet, and through other sources. The main concerns raised by the combination of the chairs was that in the era of AI, the authenticity and the reliability of information can pose a big challenge. And with the permission of the Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, I would like to quote, if it is intelligent, it can't be artificial. And if it is artificial, it can't be intelligent. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that wonderful summary, sir. We are also fortunate to have with us the visionary Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Haryana, Professor Dr. P.B. Sharma, sir.
A reputed academician, Professor P.B. Sharma, currently the Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Haryana, has been the founder Vice Chancellor of Delhi Technological University, DTU, and Rajiv Gandhi Technology University, RGPV. Professor Sharma is a former professor of IIT Delhi and a former president of Engineering Science Division of Indian Science Congress. A doctorate from University of Birmingham, UK. Professor Sharma, during his professional career, spanning over 51 years, has made distinguished contributions to the advancement of frontiers of knowledge in the areas of mechanical engineering, gas turbine technology, nanoscience and technology, new energy and environment technologies, knowledge and innovation management. As founder Vice Chancellor of RGPV, Professor Sharma has made distinguished contributions to academic innovations and R&D at RGPV. It was Professor Sharma's vision for innovatively designed RGPV campus that has now blossomed into a campus gravitating with strong industry partnership and focus on industry and society relevant R&D. It was his inspirational leadership that Amity University Institute of Pharmacy made new strides into herbal drug technology and fostered plenty innovations. During his long association with DCE, DTU, lasting for nearly 25 years, Professor Sharma has made a highly distinguished contribution to academic research and administration of this prestigious institution. He was the master visionary of the innovatively designed new campus of DCE and has to his credit the rise of DCE and DTU to high global esteem in frontal areas of R&D and innovations. Recipient of many awards and recognitions, Professor Sharma has been conferred with the honorary degree of Doctor of Engineering by his alma mater, University of Birmingham, in July 2013. Professor Sharma has also been conferred with the honorary degree of Doctor of Science by Dr. K.M. Modi University in October 2019. His wisdom and guidance have elevated this institution to remarkable heights. Please welcome Dr. Sharma to share his words of wisdom.
Over to you, sir.
मुझको तो ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे लाइफ टाइम अचीवमेंट अवार्ड के लिए मेरा बायोडेटा पढ़ा जा रहा है. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you here partly to seek my apologies for not being with you at the inaugural function of this very important conference organized by Amity Law School of our university. And I also stand before you today to extend our very warm welcome to our very distinguished Honorable Vice Chancellor of National Law University, Professor Amarpal Singh Ji, as well as Professor Yogesh Pratap Singh Ji, the Vice Chancellor of National Law University, Tripura, and to our very distinguished guests from abroad who are connecting with in this valedictory function online. I extend to all of them a very warm welcome. I'm also very happy that the Amity Law School today is under the strong hands of Professor J.P. Yadav and caring patronage and support being provided by its distinguished members of the faculty. And people like us in management, including my worthy registrar, Dr. Ravi Manuja, present here, are nurturing Amity Law School of our university and pushing it to the great heights of glory each year. We are so proud of our Amity Law School, and under the visionary guidance of our Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, and innovative leadership of our Honorable Chancellor, we are sparing no moment whatsoever to ensure that the world quality education is provided to our students in Amity Law School as well as in other 16 schools that we have within our university, covering broad spectrum of academic and research activity, going from law to engineering to arts and architecture to applied sciences to hospitality, as well as to nurturing, in fact, fine arts, and also, in fact, taking on board the newer disciplines like life sciences and nanoscience and technology. Of course, our love and care for technology, especially in the area of artificial intelligence, robotics and automation, machine learning, large data analytics, as well as business intelligence, is of course something to which we are so deeply committed in our university. I felt immensely happy when Professor A.K. Bhatt and his colleagues, Professor Pathak, and others, they approached me that we are organizing a conference of such a great importance where we are focusing our eyes and dots on the next generation jurisprudence. Of course, we all wish to be part of a society where fairness and justice is not merely desired, but it is the rule of the game and rule of the law also. And I was particularly very happy when the न्याय की देवी की मूर्ति को हमारे माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आदेश के अनुसार बदला गया था. पहले जो हमारी न्याय की देवी थी, उनके हाथ में तराजू था, आंखों पे पट्टी बंधी हुई थी, हाथ में एक तलवार थी कि गलती करोगे तो तुम्हारी गर्दन काट दी जाएगी या हाथ काट दिए जाएंगे, depending upon the level of crime. The punishment, of course, was the end objective, it appears to me, for avoiding justice to those who committed guilt or committed wrong. And it is for this reason, for several generations, we found that people were scared of the laws. Laws were meant for those who commit wrong and they are to be punished and sent to the jail, it was thought. People like me grew up in a society at a time when the laws were for the goodness of the society. They were to encourage righteous conduct and responsible behavior, and they were meant to create a society that was by and large a law-abiding society. When I grew up, of course, the courts were there, the attorneys were there, advocates were there, but the cases were very few which were going to the court of law. There was no crowd of the kind that you see today in the High Court or Honorable Supreme Court or an honorable courts of our nation. It was non-existence. Once I asked my mother to come to the court to testify as I was going to University of Birmingham as a national scholar of Government of India. An affidavit was to be signed in front of the judicial magistrate. My mother told me I would prefer to accept death, but would not go to the court for signature. You can imagine the kind of sentiments people had at that time. If somebody is going to court, the society would take it this way, that he or she must have committed a heinous crime to go before the honorable lordship and plead guilty or non-guilty as the case may be. I was in a very difficult position at that time to convince my mother that you are not going there to testify whether you are guilty or non-guilty. You are going there only to certify that you are my legitimate mother, because signature of mother or father were required. Father had already gone to Bekunt and was not to return for signature, and hence mother's signature were essential. I'm telling you this primarily because somehow rather over the last 75 plus years, we as a society have drifted from a highly law-abiding, responsible citizenship to a society where we think, let the Lordship decide who committed the guilt or who had not committed the guilt. When I grew up at that time, people were honest. Nobody will tell a lie. And even if a wrong is committed by mistake, people had the humility to accept that, yes, this wrong has been committed by me. And hence, by and large, there was very little work for the attorneys of the law to plead for one or the other in the courts of our great nation. Today, of course, the situation is different. I did not overemphasize that we are a nation where we have the piles of the court cases before the Lordship to pronounce their judgment, as well as to, in fact, hear these cases in depth in order to come to a conclusion. Against this backdrop, about which you all are so well aware, I was coming to this university in the morning from Noida, and I was asking myself, are there any rules and regulations that are being implemented in our country, especially on the road? Even a highway, which is not supposed to take the two-wheelers or not to allow the mixed traffic, people were overtaking from the left primarily because the trucks, which were supposed to go in the slow lane, had the advantage of driving in the fast lane. And my driver, despite being the driver of the Vice Chancellor, who is so law-abiding and so caring, he told me, sir, फिर हम अब ट्रक के पीछे ही चलते हैं, otherwise हमको लेफ्ट से ओवरटेक करना पड़ेगा. I'm telling you all this primarily because that in the title of our conference, when we have looked at the next generation jurisprudence, we are looking only on technology like artificial intelligence or the government systems of the kind we are so well accustomed to, or we are looking at the evolving legal landscape about which so much talk is going on about reforms and redrafting our laws and rules and regulations. What we have left behind, and I accept that mistake myself, rather than putting blame to anybody, we could have included society and people also. Because ultimately what matters, it's not just the technology, it's not just the governance, or it's not the legal landscape, it is the people, their conscience, their ethics, their morals, and their interest in being law-abiding citizenship. Ultimately that matters. Question is, even if I include the people or the society in this conference, and I submit to you, Lordship, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the Kulpati ji of the National Law University from Lucknow, what do I do if I have the technology empowering my people to take the decisions on their behalf and often use or misuse that technology to the extent possible, technology being deaf and dumb and being so neutral, like the Devi of our jurisprudence, closing the eyes all the time? We thought that science and technology do not bother whether a rascal uses them or a wise man uses them. They were supposed to be neutral. It is not going to be so, I can assure you, the next generation sitting in front of me, people like me who have been working in science and technology whole of our life now believe that science and technology have to have the conscience. They have to have the same level of understanding and conscience and abiding faith in the law-abiding citizenship like you and I are called upon to have. You will have tomorrow science with conscience. You will have technology of conscience tomorrow. You will have science and technology causing innovations and new and advanced technologies and new scientific discoveries and development of the kind that will impact not only your behavior, but will allow you to turn back to and go back to the basics of righteous conduct and righteous and responsible behavior. And it is in this context, we have to see whether artificial intelligence, AI as it is called, can come in and fill this large void that we have created over the last 100 years or more with the advancement of science and advancement of technology as today. People like me believe that AI is going to fill up this gap. I'm looking at AI from the point of view of not only being artificial intelligence, but augmenting my own intelligence to take informed decisions on the basis of large data analytics and the information that I shall possess as the Vice Chancellor. And also at the same time, artificial intelligence also looking at the Vice Chancellor and his behavior to ensure that no amount of wrong is allowed to be committed, even if you are occupying the highest office of the authority. And it is in this respect, we are looking at the next generation chips, next generation microchips of the kind that are in the offing. My son is working in a company which is designing, developing, and manufacturing the chips of tomorrow. And I asked him, do you have the chips which will have conscience? He said, Dada, you are looking at tomorrow, and we are imagining it also in our industry. Tomorrow's AI on chip will have AI that will have the abiding faith in ensuring the law-abiding citizenship is created and ensured. Your chip will ensure that you are not allowed to use or misuse. If you misuse your mobile once, it will say, please, I'm not meant for this purpose. You misuse it next time again to rob somebody, it will say, stop it, otherwise desert you, otherwise, and thereafter it will say, go to hell, I have logged you. You go back to the manufacturer who manufactured your mobile or the chip. And you will be in real trouble because by that time, the manufacturer or the supplier would have already been informed and your entire digital profile would be there before the Lordship to punish you further for the use and misuse that you wanted to commit. That's the kind of time to which we are moving to, the cyber laws and cyber security and inbuilt systems on chips. Inbuilt chip, in fact, on the inbuilt system on the chip, in fact, will ensure that the chips would be able to do the job of righteous conduct and responsible behavior for which the people and the societies are meant for. That's one point. That's moving to the governance. For a very long time, the governance also has been looking at us from the point of view of serving our needs to the best possible extent within the domains of the rules and regulations that may have. Otherwise, overtaking from left, talking on mobile while driving, jumping on the red lights and creating havoc in a city where we have the highest number of, in fact, fatalities being caused on the road could have not have happened. Governance of tomorrow, in my opinion, would be responsible governance. Those in authority, sitting in the governance and executive, would have a proper understanding that if you do not respond and do not discharge your responsibilities with care and caution, you will go to same hell to which you are otherwise sending the people at large. And you will have in a country like ours, in fact, the behavior and conduct of those in authority and power being impacted by the technologies which will be driving tomorrow systems of governance. Governance already is IT-enabled governance, as you all know. We have gone for a massive digitization, and therefore the responsible behavior of all those who are part and parcel of the government or even policy planning and execution will have to be ensured on the strength of the technology and its utilization. As far as the judicial landscape is concerned, you know better than me. The law tomorrow would be such that there would be very little work on the table of the Honorable Lordship as against the piles of the cases that you have, because once the society becomes law-abiding, once the governance system is such that it ensures that the laws are implemented with care and caution and with utmost honesty and sincerity, you will have a new dawn descending on the horizons, not only here in India, but around the world. A new world is in the making. The next generation must prepare for it. Let me tell you very frankly, whether you know it or not, people like you, me, and everybody is under surveillance. Everybody knows where you are. They all know what you are doing during your day, how much time you spend in the canteen or in the classroom, or for that reason taking selfies or dancing on the floors or doing anything which you like is all being taken note of. And it is this kind of watchful eyes of the God Almighty tomorrow, in my opinion, would be the rule of the game. We will be returned back to a society where people will be scared to speak the untruth, where people would be scared to do anything wrong, and you will have the bliss of heavens descending on the horizons of Mother Earth. It is that kind of future that we are envisioning and consciously working in this direction. During this conference, I'm pretty sure you must have looked at all aspects of how tomorrow's technologies, tomorrow's governance systems, as well as the legal landscape is going to respond to the calls of the people at large. I have a dream, and my dream is let there be as many attorneys and as many advocates as you desire. Let all my advocates and attorneys have work. Let there be lordship also. Let there be honorable courts in my country, but very little court cases. You will say, हम क्या भूखों मरेंगे सर जी? अगर कोर्ट केस नहीं होंगे तो हमारे पास कौन आएगा? हम किसका काम करें? You will work for the people. You will work for the society. Your role will shift from the courtroom to the society to which you would be their wise counsel, and you would be the mediators to ensure that the society as a whole walks along the tracks of righteous conduct and responsible behavior, causing bare minimum harm to each other as well as to the mother nature. And it is this kind of dream that I have, and I'm pretty sure that's the kind of world in which we are going to lean to. Well, let me take this opportunity to thank our honorable guests of honor, the Honorable Chief Justice, Professor Amarpal Singh ji, as well as Professor Yogesh Pratap Singh, and our distinguished guests who are connected online from Germany and Brazil. And also wish to thank all the learned speakers who must have shared their wise counsel and words of wisdom with you during the 2 days of the conference. At this closing hours, I want each one of you to thank all those who shared their wisdom with you. At the same time, prepare yourself to commit to a future in which you would like to live, and let the coming generations of the humanity live. And it is this future for which you and I and everybody around the country here and around the world have to work consciously, as well as with a great sense of responsibility and commitment to create the future of which we wish to be part of. With these words, may I take this opportunity to thank all the participants coming from 17 different universities and law schools to our university. We were so delighted that you are here. You must have seen our beautiful campus. You must have seen peacock dancing, 44 varieties of butterfly. You must have seen that every single drop of water is being conserved in this campus. All the wastewater is being reprocessed and reutilized. Solar energy is lighting our lights here in our campus. And we have a Gosala also of 100 strong, healthy cows within our campus. We are also doing, in fact, organic farming, and we have the pleasure of having thousands and thousands of highly important medicinal plants and trees within our own campus. We are leading by example, and I want you to take note of the fact that our commitment to simplicity, sustainability, as well as the integrity and a law-abiding citizenship is of the highest order, to which our founding fathers of Amity are so well committed to. With these words, may I take this opportunity to thank you, Professor Yadav and Professor Bhatt, for giving me this great privilege to be part of this valedictory function, to greet and welcome my very distinguished Vice Chancellor coming from National Law University. And I was told that you had your inaugural function presided over by the Chief Guest, Professor Ranveer Singh ji, the former Vice Chancellor of National Law University, Bangalore, as well as National Law University, Delhi. Also, Professor Manoj Shanaji, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of NLU, Jabalpur. What a great pleasure and bliss should be to have such distinguished personalities with you during the 2-day conference. God bless you all. Let you create the future of which you would wish to be the part of. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. Next, we have a distinguished international speaker who has joined us for this conference.
His perspective has added a global dimension to our discussions on AI and governance. It is an honor to introduce Dr. Cássio Eduardo Zen, a distinguished professor of law and researcher from Universidade de São Paulo, Brazil. Dr. Zen brings to the conference a wealth of expertise in international criminal law and human rights, underpinned by an impressive academic and professional background. A registered lawyer with the Brazilian bar in Paraná, Dr. Zen earned his Bachelor of Arts in Law from Universidade Federal do Paraná an LLM in International Law and Affairs from Universidad Federal de Santa Catarina, and a PhD in International Law from Universidad de Sao Paulo. Dr. Zen's career reflects his deep commitment to global justice, including his work with the International Criminal Court and the United Nations Mechanism for International Criminal Tribunals. Beyond his professional achievements, he holds specialized degrees in neurosciences in law and human behavior, criminal procedure, criminal law, the rule of law, and external commerce, enhancing his multidisciplinary approach to legal studies. As an active researcher, Dr. Zen is affiliated with two esteemed research centers at Universidad de Sao Paulo, one dedicated to the protection of minority rights and another focused on BRICS nations. His scholarly contributions reach audiences worldwide, and since 2011, he has lectured extensively in countries like the Netherlands, India, and Russia. Today, we are privileged to welcome Dr. Casio Eduardo Zen as our international guest speaker. His insights into international law, neuroscience, and the rule of law will bring profound depth to our discussions at our conference. We are honored to have with us Professor Casio Eduardo Zen, who has joined us from Brazil through virtual means. And now I request Sir to address the gathering.
Good morning or good afternoon for those in India, my friends. I hope I am being clear with my microphone and the internet is not failing me. First of all, I would like to thank for the invitation to speak with you in India. Mostly, I would like to start by thanking Professor I.K. Singh, Associate Professor, for the kind connection that we made in order for me to join you in this conference, and for the kind words of Professor P.B. Sharma, Vice Chancellor, for the wisdom. And let me just say that I am very interested that in the future I may go in person to your institution, because your campus really seems a campus focused for the future of humanity. And I would like to start my provocations for the morning here in Brazil by saying, what kind of world do we want to live in the future? We are at the crossroads of history right now. My experience in international criminal law made me somewhat skeptical of the possible future of humanity. I always tend to say how bad things can get, and how can humanity reach a level of understanding among different nations. We are heading towards a future with artificial intelligence reaching new and more dangerous levels on one part, but at the same time, a level where artificial intelligence can bring us good things like evolution in medicine, health services, new medications. But at the same time, in international criminal law, there are new weapons that are being developed with artificial intelligence and with the use of artificial intelligence. We are heading towards a world where drones equipped with artificial intelligence can target enemies with a precision that could be deadly. It is not difficult to think that you can program a drone or a lethal autonomous weapon, as Peter Singer said. You can program it to target a specific ethnic group or a specific political group, heading towards less political rights in the world. Another very dangerous trend that we have identified me and Professor Edna Felício from Universidade Federal do Paraná, we have identified the possible use of artificial intelligence to create bots, automatic bots in social media. And these bots could be used and are being used to target targeted advertisement. And you can target certain voters, let's say in a election, and you can pretend that these voters are speaking with someone real. You can use these bots with artificial intelligence to jeopardize democracy by just collecting enough data about these persons that you know how to influence them by creating certain posts online on social media. So this is one challenge. In Brazil, we had one case, a very funny one, where a newspaper made a post online about some recipes, food recipes, but they used certain terms about this food recipe. It was a meatloaf or something. And they changed the spelling so it would look like the name of a politician in Brazil. And the result was there was a flooding of artificial intelligence bots thinking that it was a political propaganda post from this newspaper, and it was not. But the amount of hatred in this newspaper's post comment session was beyond imaginable. So we are looking at a world with possibility of good debates coming from artificial intelligence, but at the same time, the most important aspect with everything here is we need to have an ethical approach towards big data and towards artificial intelligence. We need to understand the power that we are creating. We have opened the Pandora's box here, and we are certain that we have no idea where this is heading. But we are sure that we can and we should use the rule of law in order to protect basic human rights within this new digital age. We must understand that we may need new international treaties on basic ethical usage of artificial intelligence in order to prevent lethal autonomous weapons, in order to prevent undue interference in other countries' elections. I am aware that India, as well as Brazil, we are both democracies, and we do have a very big election scheme. Here in Brazil, it's about 200 million people. In India, we are speaking about 1.4 billion people. And everyone in India and in Brazil, whether the person votes or not, is part of the country's democracy. You have debates, you have building of civic feeling, and everything could be influenced by internet, including some illegal bots. So we must protect every country in order to have our own democracies respected. No country should interfere within India's elections, as well as no country should ever interfere with Brazil's elections and democratic schemes. We have political rights. We have basic human rights of life that could be threatened by lethal autonomous weapons. We have possibility, the same way we are developing vaccines using artificial intelligence, which is something really good, we could have new virus and biological weapons developed using artificial intelligence. So we must, as urgent as possible, to have basic ethical standards, whether nationally or internationally, to protect us from problematic usage of artificial intelligence. I don't know if I have many minutes left, but I would like to lastly point to a recent decision by Brazilian Data Protection Authority. We have a national data protection authority in Brazil that has vetoed Meta from Facebook and WhatsApp, has vetoed Meta's plan to use data collected nationwide here in Brazil from every Brazilian to feed the artificial intelligence that they were developing. So every Brazilian had to opt out of this artificial intelligence data collection. So we are looking at new challenges. And as usual, the big challenge, the big issue is law comes late. Law comes late. Law usually comes after the social problem has arisen, after we notice something problematic with our society, then we develop a new law. India is now developing or has just finished a new criminal code. And maybe this new criminal code will need reform considering new tendencies with artificial intelligence. Brazil also will need some legal changes. So it is necessary for our countries and institutions to work together to bring proper legal change. Thank you very much for your kind attention and for your invitation. And I close my words. I think my time was 10 minutes, right?
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. I am honored to introduce our guest of honor, Professor Dr. Yogesh Pratap Singh, sir, an esteemed legal academic and Vice Chancellor of National Law University, Tripura, a position he assumed on September 30th, 2022. Professor Singh has had a prolific career in legal education, marked by his significant contributions to research and his leadership in academic institutions. He received his PhD from National Law University, Odisha, his LLM from the National Law School of India University, Bangalore, and his LLB from the University of Allahabad. Professor Singh has served in a variety of influential roles throughout his career. Notably, from 2016 to 2018, he was the Deputy Registrar of Research in the Supreme Court of India, where he made a critical contribution to legal research and policy formulation. Prior to his role at National Law University, Odisha, Professor Singh was a key founding member of KIIT Law School at KIIT University in Bhubaneswar. He has also worked with Rural Litigation and Entitlement Kendra in Dehradun as a legal researcher, underscoring his commitment to social justice and legal advocacy. In addition to his administrative achievements, Professor Singh is a prolific writer. He regularly publishes in national and international law journals, contributing to prominent newspapers and media platforms such as the New Indian Express, the Statesman, the Tribune, Deccan Herald, and the Wire. His writings reach both academic and general audiences, reflecting his dedication to making complex legal issues accessible and relevant. His distinguished career and contributions to legal scholarship make him a prominent figure in legal academia, and we are privileged to have him with us today in virtual mode. And now I request sir to please address the gathering. I now request Professor Singh to please address the gathering.
Are you referring to me?
Yes, sir. Welcome, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. I was not able to join because of some technical problem, but now I think it is sorted. So thank you very much for inviting me and giving me this opportunity. I am very grateful to Amity Law School,
Excuse me, sir.
Gurgaon.
Sir,
Yes,
before proceeding, can we please read your profile once again?
yes, please.
I am honored to introduce our guest of honor, Professor Dr. Yogesh Pratap Singh, an esteemed legal academic and Vice Chancellor of National Law University, Tripura. Professor Singh has had a prolific career in legal education, marked by his significant contributions to research and his leadership in academic institutions. He received his PhD from National Law University, Odisha, his LLM from the National Law School of India University, NLSIU, Bangalore, and his LLB from the University of Allahabad. In addition to his administrative achievements, Professor Singh is a prolific writer. He regularly publishes in national and international law journals, contributing to prominent newspapers and media platforms such as the New Indian Express, The Statesman, The Tribune, Deccan Herald, and The Wire. His writings reach both academic and general audiences, reflecting his dedication to making complex legal issues accessible and relevant. Professor Singh's distinguished career and contributions to legal scholarship make him a prominent figure in Indian legal academia, and we are privileged to have him here with us today. I now request Sir to please address the gathering.
Thank you so much, all the invited guests, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Pro Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Honorable Chief Guest, Professor A.P. Singh, Vice Chancellor Ram Manohar Lohia National Law University, all other invited guests, faculty members of Amity Law School, Gurgaon, all the participants. Thank you very much. I am very grateful to Amity Law School for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to participate in this sixth Amity International Conference on Next Generation Jurisprudence, Artificial Intelligence, Governance, and the Evolving Legal Landscape. Artificial intelligence has permeated various facets of modern life, not various, almost all facets of modern life, including the legal domain. The integration of artificial intelligence into legal proceedings presents both opportunity as well as challenge for us to address. One of the critical concern in this intersection, which I find, is ensuring a due process, which we discuss with lot of weightage and reverence in legal circle. A fundamental legal principle that guarantees fair treatment through normal judicial system, especially as a citizen's entitlement under Article 14 and 21 of the Constitution. The usage of artificial intelligence, large language models as one form of generative artificial intelligence has become very common nowadays in contemporary times. Even to an extent that even high courts and Supreme Court is now using Chat GPT. I remember long ago, at least around 10 years ago, we in National Law University, Odisha, we invited Justice Markande Katju, one of the very prominent and vocal judges of Indian Supreme Court, and to deliver some lecture. And during discussion, because we encourage our students to participate and to ask questions and difficult questions. So one of the student of law school, he asked question because that was the time when Justice Markande Katju delivered a judgment on surrogacy, and it was probably the first judgment delivered by Supreme Court on surrogacy. There was no precedent. So he used a definition for surrogacy which was available on Wikipedia. So the student asked this question to Justice Markandeya Kadju, that how appropriate is for the Supreme Court judge to use internet and also to use Wikipedia, because Wikipedia, as a law student and an academic, we know that is not a very authentic source to cite. But Supreme Court judge is citing Wikipedia in the Supreme Court judgment. Justice Markandeya Kadju, in his own style, he shouted on that boy and he said that, is it not enough that your Supreme Court judges are using internet at least? So this was a time 10 years back when we were happy that our judges in the High Court and Supreme Court are at least now started using internet, and it will improve the functioning of the court. It will improve the functioning of the judicial decision making. But now artificial intelligence has become so common that judges in the Supreme Court, judges in the high courts are using artificial intelligence. I remember two recent examples which has been reported. One is Punjab and Haryana High Court, and the other is Manipur High Court. The Punjab Haryana High Court, in one of the cases, Jasbinder Singh, it is 2023 judgment. He took assistance from ChatGPT in the matters pertaining to bail petition. This case was dismissed, but one of the observations of justice was made with assistance of ChatGPT, where the judge wanted to know the worldview on bail jurisprudence in cruelty cases. The ChatGPT part was put in the post-reasoning portion of the order, where the court had highlighted that the use of generative tool has merely for the purpose of getting a worldview on the perspective of bail in the cases of cruelty. The next is a case from Manipur High Court, Muhammad Jakir Hussain versus State of Manipur, where the court had used Chat GPT 3.5 and Google search to get information on the working and service conditions of village defense force. The court had initially asked government to explain the procedure for disengagement of village defense force, but there was no response filed in the counter affidavit. And therefore, the court had to take this step to do research on its own. And with the help of Google and ChatGPT, the judge found the justification and some information. And this eventually helped the court to come up to a better position. In fact, it was the use of the search engine and the generative artificial intelligence that an office memorandum came forward before the court, highlighting the service rules of village defense force. So this search helped the court in delivering the opinion. And in fact, the court reinstated the disengagement of village defense force into its position. And again, this streamlines how AI had played the role of a kind of amicus curiae for the court of law. The Indian Supreme Court has also taken some steps to integrate technological modus operandi in the working of the apex court. And this tells a lot about the innovative leadership of our current Chief Justice of India, who is going to superannuate and retire in a day's time. However, what is interesting to note is the rapid speed of digitization of the court's record, not only at the Supreme Court of India, but all the high courts, even district courts are now being digitized. It goes without saying that digitization is the first step towards automation, and surely there is no shortage of quality documents within the ever-increasing archive of the Supreme Court that needs to be digitized. I was witness in High Court of Odisha under the leadership of Justice Muralidhar. All the records of Odisha High Court was digitized and it was taken on a war footing manner. All this started, in my opinion, with the National Policy and Action Plan for the implementation of ICT in the Indian judiciary, a national policy prepared by the E-Committee of the Supreme Court when we were I was also, to some extent, part of this committee for some time during 2016 to 18, when I was in the Supreme Court on deputation. AI is rapidly transforming the legal landscape, offering numerous benefits that enhance the efficiency, accuracy, and access to justice also. As artificial intelligence systems become more sophisticated, their application in legal decision-making processes presents opportunity to improve various aspects of legal questions, various aspects of legal system. And the use of artificial intelligence in the judicial system has, in my opinion, the potential to greatly improve the efficiency, accuracy, accessibility, because these three are the three biggest challenges which our judicial system has been facing. Efficiency, accuracy, and accessibility of the judicial system as a whole. So artificial intelligence has also posed question for our legal system in other aspects also. For example, copyright law, for that matter, even all IPRs, I would say, copyright does not have answer about the content created by the artificial intelligence. Indian Patent Act does not have the answer about the innovations which are done with the help of artificial intelligence, and similarly other intellectual property law. So artificial intelligence is going to stay. Artificial intelligence will remain with us, and it is for us to decide and to discuss how best we can use this artificial intelligence for the efficiency and for the quality of the justice delivery system, for the quality of and these questions will be addressed only this kind of platforms. So I am happy and I am very thankful to Amity Law School, Gurgaon, for organizing this kind of conference where you have invited people to discourse and debate on some of these challenges which we are facing and which we are going to face in the near future, and try to find out the solution for that. And this will help not only the government, policymakers, judges of the High Court and Supreme Court to come out with a better solution. With this, I thank once again Amity Law School, Gurgaon, Haryana, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your words of wisdom. Now, it is a great privilege to introduce our chief guest, Professor Dr. Amarpal Singh, a distinguished academic and legal scholar with a remarkable career spanning over 2 decades. Currently serving as the Vice Chancellor of Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia National Law University, Lucknow, a role he took on in March 2024. Dr. Singh has made substantial contributions to the field of law. His journey in academia began as a lecturer at Government College in Bikaner, followed by a position as associate professor at National Law University, Jodhpur, and later at the University School of Law and Legal Studies at GGS IP University in New Delhi. Dr. Singh's academic achievements are impressive, with 3 master's degrees to his credit, one in English literature and 2 in law, specializing in constitutional law from MDS University Ajmer and legal theory from the European Academy of Legal Theory in Brussels. He also holds a PhD from Rajasthan University, Jaipur. Beyond his qualifications, he has attended approximately 50 national and international conferences and has published over 30 research papers in esteemed journals worldwide. An inspiring aspect of Dr. Singh's life is his non traditional educational journey. Having pursued his studies part time and privately, Dr. Singh's academic journey from a Sanskrit scholar to a master in English literature is a testament to his resilience and dedication. He is also a life member of several prestigious organizations, including the Indian Law Institute and the Indian Institute of Public Administration, New Delhi. With his extensive experience, scholarly contributions, and unique personal identity, Dr. Amarpal Singh continues to be a guiding force in the field of law and an inspiration to legal professionals across the nation.
I would like to request all our dignitaries to please come up on the stage for the felicitation of our chief guest.
Now I request Professor Dr. Ajay Kumar Bhatt, Amity Law School, to present a sapling to our chief guest, Professor Dr. Amarpal Singh. Now I request Professor Dr. J.P. Yadav to present a shawl to our venerated chief guest. Now I request our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. P.B. Sharma Sir, to present a memento to our chief guest. I now invite Professor Dr. Amarpal Singh Sir to address the gathering.
Respected Professor P.B. Sharma Sir, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Gurgaon, Haryana, Professor Ajay Bhatt Sir, Professor J.P. Yadav Ji, other faculty colleagues, delegates from all across the country who have participated in this conference, and student friends. I take this opportunity, first of all, to put on record my sincere gratitude and thanks to the organizers of this conference. Also to congratulate them to organize a conference on such an important topic, which is going to be crucial for our lives. Please appreciate and understand it that technology has entered into our individual and community life so much, we cannot escape from it. And AI is just an extension of that. So there is no escape from this technology. What all we can do is to just decide as to how are we going to use this. And the two sides of the coin have already been presented. the fairy tales and the horror stories. So the fairy tales, the positive side of the dream of future, Professor P.V. Sharma presented, a very bright future whereby the whole social system and the attorneys and judges serving the social system. And the horror stories or the warning side of AI was sounded by Professor Cassio Zan of Brazil, who talked about the dangers of AI, which is not something very new. We know that the kind of dangers AI presents. I hope we are aware of two great professors who got the Nobel Prize for Physics this year, who had actually spearheaded this AI movement across the globe and had resigned from very responsible positions because their warning as to going slow about AI process has not been heard. So they had resigned from a lot of official positions. So there are obvious dangers involved in AI. Coming back to the conference subject, friends, valedictory is basically a closing message. What we have done during last 2 days and what kind of a message we carry from here. So if I look at the topic, next generation jurisprudence, AI governance and evolving legal landscape, I divide this into two portions. AI governance is one element, and the next generation jurisprudence and evolving legal landscape is the other side, which refers to the dynamic element of law process, law and legal process. How the law and legal process would help us in this AI age, so to say. As far as this AI governance is concerned, three aspects of it have already been covered. Professor Sharma sir talked about the positive side of AI. As I said, Professor Cassio Zen talking about the warning side of the AI, and Professor Yogesh Pratap Singh talking about the practical elements and how it is being used and how it is likely to be used. So there is not much that I can say about AI governance for that purpose, but something necessarily about the second element, which has its interface of AI as well, and that is the next generation jurisprudence and the evolving legal landscape. You might recall Professor Cassio Zen said law comes later. You might recall he was talking about it. And he was referring to this leg law process that I shall talk about. Let me start from this. This is something each one of us, old and young, right? People of all ages have always been exposed to, have always heard about it, have always been educated about it. Everything changes except the rule of change. So friends, the things that we are living today will obviously change. We can't help it. Law and legal process and the entire legal paraphernalia that we have is basically an attempt to give this change process a desired direction. And therefore, law, which is known as a very conservative profession and a status quoist element, because it actually follows the evolutionary process. It doesn't come first. The evolution happens and the law moves in to handle that evolutionary process, to regulate that regulatory process, if you put it that way. And as I said, an attempt of the human society to give change a desired direction. That's how we look at that. Therefore, the legal process always is a lag process. I mean, it comes after a lag. Now, this is one point that we need to take note of. The second dimension of this, which I hope some of us have read, Alvin Toffler, who talks about the great American sociologist, who talks about what I say, speed element of the change process. So change process has a lot of dimensions. One of the dimensions of this change process is speed element. And what his contention is, if I just try to summarize it, because he has done this job during his entire life process from 1960s to, the last work that we had from him was Power Shift, came in 1997. I think there is another book that has come thereafter. So future shock that he articulated in 1960s, he talked about it, and I try to summarize this. Change happens at a cascading speed. So today it is 1 unit change per unit time. Tomorrow, 2 unit per unit time, 4, 8, 16, 32, like that. So it is a cascading, it has a cascading effect on the life process. And therefore, at a time, there comes a time in the life of an individual or a community for that purpose, when this change process becomes so fast and hits us at such a ferocious speed that it stuns us, and we are not able to respond to it. Now, converting it into a real life process, this problem, what happens is that the change happens very fast and law follows very slowly. So a large lag is created, which is an unregulated area. This is something that we know, we can experience it, particularly in the age of AI and cyber technology, where technology is evolving very fast and law is not able to make any headway to regulate it properly. And therefore, the cyber offenses are increasing at a very rapid pace. I can just give you a small example. So say IPC was articulated way back in 1860s. 1861 was the first edition of IPC. Even when you make an attempt to bring a new BNS, as you call it, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, as law students, we understand it that 98% is the mirror image of the old IPC. It's just 2% changes that we have made there. Of course, sections, their structures have been changed, so a lot of things have been done. But the overall change is not more than 2%, right? Now just compare it with your Information Technology Act. Information Technology Act came in 2002. We had half a dozen major amendments made therein. And amendments so fundamental that it appears to be a very different kind of a law today. There have been over a dozen regulations made under it. Over a dozen regulations. And the last regulations came in 2022. And you ask a cyber law student and he will tell you, हमारे यहाँ पर कानून बड़े पिछड़े हुए हैं. The point is that despite every kind of attempt that we are making, the law is lagging far behind. We call it technological overrun. Technology runs very fast and the law is not able to keep pace. Therefore, a large lag is created, which remains an unregulated area. Now, this is not new for a law student. Let me tell you very frankly. This is something that have been there with us, and particularly in India, we had a lot of experience on that. So say, for example, I'm not sure about other systems, but Indian system tried to use the law as we call the instrument of social change. And therefore, we made laws for the purpose of affecting changes in the social process. So say, for example, child marriage prohibition law came back. The first edition of this was in 1829, if you recall. Child marriages have not gone, though the law is there for 200 years. I mean, the first Sharda Act, as we call it, came in 1829, almost 200 years back, right? If you recall, Dowry Prohibition Act came somewhere in 1961. And dowry continues to be with us. Now, there are problems with this instrumentality process, which I will not get into because it's a different kind of a debate altogether. The point I'm trying to make is that when law seeks to move beyond or ahead to the society, the implementation, number one, it doesn't get implemented properly. And if at all it gets implemented, the implementation costs are very high. This is one. Therefore, law is necessarily a lag process, which follows the change process. But good or bad, we have been seeing this for a very long time in our country as well, that there is a large area which remains unregulated. In fact, if you look at the, Professor Sharma sir was making a comment that when people of his age were growing up, the people were very honest, courts were not needed, going into the courts were a stigmatic thing in fact. So that kind of a thing, which meant that large area remained unregulated. What law was not needed for them. People were honest, will not tell a lie, so and so forth. But that kind of a unregulated luxury we cannot afford today, where everybody is looking for a space to exploit it. This situation has been created because of that instrumentality process that I was referring to. The point that I wanted to bring into this debate. Now, without getting into the details of this jurisprudential element of the lag law process and the instrumentality of law process, what my understanding of this AI governance is that this lag law is going to be, or lag element is going to be larger and larger in the days to come. And we are going to confront a huge area in the days to come where there is no law. So what is the lesson for a lawyer? What is the take for a lawyer or law student for that purpose? The take is that law is not needed to be understood only in terms of legislative element. Law is to be understood as Professor Larua talks about, thinking law is thinking God. Law is not something which is there in the textbooks alone. Law is there everywhere. You might recall Hans Kelsen, who talked about law as a normative science. I will take a couple of minutes in explaining this small point. What is normative science, by the way? What is norm? Norm is basically a measure. Measure means, like when I say norm, so say if I say what is this distance and you say could be 2 inches, you have somewhere a measure in your head whereby you measure this distance. Law provides us measures of behavior in community and individual life process. These measures are not necessarily legislative all the time. They are many times, the product of social behavior, the product of our cultural upbringing, which Professor Sharma was talking about. So a lawyer now will have to be aware of this kind of a normative process or normative science of law and try to inculcate these things into the formal legal process as and when those things are brought up for debate before the courts. So in courts in the days to come, you will not only have legislative elements that are being debated, but lot of extra law, the normative law that is the product of social and cultural process. This is going to be one of the very important element in the days to come, and therefore probably that is the reason. I'm not sure if the framers of national education policy had this idea in their mind, but they are talking about, Indian knowledge system inculcating Indian knowledge system in every aspect of life process. We as law students will have to, will have to be aware of this particular element, that in the days to come, the law and legal process is going to confront lot of empty area which is unregulated, and this area is to be filled in by constructing that normative science into our lives. That is the challenge that we are going to confront in the days to come. Friends, you must have discussed a lot of technical aspects of AI, and those papers, 145 papers, as Dr. Somdat was talking about, you must have talked about a lot of technical things. I'm not going to talk about them. I'm talking about absolutely from jurisprudential perspective as to the challenge, a broad challenge that all of us are going to face. And therefore, read a bit of Indian knowledge in every aspect of law. There is a lot of, efforts that are actually being made. And, a small attempt that we are making in the state of Uttar Pradesh is, which is part of their, strategy of implementing national education policy, that every curriculum that we make, the first unit of that curriculum is going to be on Indian association of that particular subject with the Indian knowledge system. So thereby you are compelled to look into the Indian element of the knowledge of that particular subject. This way, probably we shall try to revive some of our traditions that ensured a better and healthy community life, even without law, that Professor Sharma was talking about. So my understanding and appreciation of this challenge in the age of AI is to revive our own cultural patterns, our own, ethos of community life. Sangachadhvam, samvadadhvam, samvo manansi janatam. I can keep on talking about it. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya. In every walk of life, we try to cultivate that social morality into every aspect of life. So therefore, as I said, that thinking law is thinking God in the days to come is going to be a true thing. I would appeal and make a small, what should I say, small attempt to articulate this idea that this lag that is going to be created because of technological overrun is going to be filled in by the social morality of Indian tradition, which Professor Sharma was envisaging in his address in the beginning. With that kind of a note, I would like to finish here and put on record my sincere gratitude and thanks once again to the organizers of the conference for inviting me and permitting me to share some of my ideas. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring words. Now comes an eagerly awaited moment, the declaration of results. In our international conference, we had 6 sessions, so we will be handing out the best research paper prizes first. The best research paper, I'll announce the name and they are in no particular order, goes to Puneet Chander, Research Scholar, Amity Law School, Amity University, Haryana. Since he joined us in online mode, I'd request Aryan to please collect the certificate on his behalf. Next best research paper goes to Shilpi M. Jain, Research Scholar, Amity Law School, Amity University, Haryana. I'd request Palak to please collect the certificate and memento on her behalf. Best Research Paper, another award goes to Samar Malik, Manav Rachna University Research Scholar. I'd request Anshul to please collect the certificate and memento on his behalf. Moving forward with the category of Best Research Presentation, it goes to Advocate Prem Singh Bisht, retired IPS. I'd request Aryan to please collect the certificate and memento on his behalf. Another Best Research Presentation goes to Muskan, Research Scholar, Amity Law School. I'd request Palak to please collect the certificate and memento on her behalf. I thank all our dignitaries and I request them to please be seated.
As we are near the end of this event, we have a number of people to thank. Without their contributions, this conference wouldn't have been possible. To extend our gratitude, I invite Dr. I.K. Singh, Associate Professor at Amity Law School, Amity University, Haryana, to deliver the vote of thanks.
So very good evening, you all. As we reach the closing of this remarkable international conference hosted by Amity Law School, Haryana, I am honored to extend my heartfelt thanks on behalf of entire organizing committee. Let me first of all start by giving glory to Almighty God for making this conference a resounding success. Our deep gratitude goes to our respected founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, whose vision and commitment to quality education have made this conference a reality. Thank you, sir, for inspiring us to push boundaries in the field of law. To our Chancellor, Dr. Asim Chauhan, thank you, sir, for your invaluable guidance and support, which have been instrumental in making this event successful. Your dedication to academic excellence continues to elevate our institution and empower us all. We are grateful to Professor P.B. Sharma, sir, Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Haryana, for his encouragement and his able guidance has always encouraged us. I thank him for his interest and continued support. And your one important, punchline, sir. IK Babu, you have to do this. Thank you, sir. I'd like to thank our esteemed Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. Vikas Madhukar, sir, for his constant encouragement and promoting initiative that foster growth and innovation at Amity Law School. My sincere thanks to our registrar, Dr. Ravi Manuja, sir, for his gracious presence and constant support. I thank our chief guest, Professor Amarpal Singh, sir, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia, National Law University, and the guest of honor, Professor Yogesh Pratap Singh, Vice Chancellor, National Law University, Tripura, who despite their busy schedule, has found time to grace this occasion. Sir, your words of wisdom have greatly enriched our experience and enhanced our knowledge. I'm also thankful to Professor Cassio Jain from Sao Paulo University, Brazil, and one very good friend of mine, Professor Patrick, for some unavoidable circumstances, he was not able to join. But Professor Patrick, thank you so much for inviting me my invitation. And my heartfelt thanks to our all session chairs for their valuable contribution, supports, and guidance. I thank the convener of this conference and my counterpart, Dr. Abhishek Singh, and organizing committee secretary, Dr. Neha Mishra, Ms. Nidhi Sharma, for the careful planning and execution of the program. I owe special thanks to the faculty member of Amity Law School, Dr. Somdat Bharadwaj, Dr. Tul Jain, Dr. Pransul Pathak, Dr. Sivraman, Dr. Vijay Pal, Dr. S.K. Tripathi, Dr. Nivita Chaudhary, Dr. Shivpriya, Dr. S.K. Pandey, Mr. Harshvardhan, Mr. Saurav Dobriyal, and Dr. Bidusi, who have worked very hard to make this program a memorable success. My special thanks, because vote of thanks never complete without taking the name of Srinivas, who took all the this IT department. So my special thanks to Mr. Srinivas and his team for their technical support. Lastly, I want to thank student convener Gyan, Devi, Gaurav, Prachi, Pritish, Vans, Aryan, Kia, Vansika, Ars Dube, Dimple, Devans, Khushi, Mannat, and many more who worked behind the screen to make this conference a resounding success. My personal thanks and my blessing, to my student, Mr. Deepak Kumar Gaur. Once again, thank you all for your attention. Thank you very much.
And with that, we conclude the 6th Amity International Conference on Next Generation Jurisprudence, AI, Governance, and the Legal Landscape. On behalf of Amity University, Haryana, we extend our heartfelt thanks to our dignitaries, speakers, participants, and everyone behind the scenes who made this event a remarkable success. As we draw curtains to our closing ceremony, I now request everyone to please stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Now I request all the faculty members to come up on the stage for a group photograph.
मार्शल का देश प्रेम जागृत रूफ के नीचे नहीं बोलते बस खड़े रहते हैं